Okay, perfect. And could you guys let me know if you can see my screen? I want to make sure everybody can see it before I get started. All right, well, I think I've done it. This is our first time using Teams to share instead of Zoom. So I just wanted to make sure everybody could see it and everybody's right with me. If you can't see the screen, please let me know and I will try to work on fixing that. Perfect. Can you see my screen? Can you see a picture of my open house? Okay, my little Bitmoji open house PowerPoint. It says like, welcome to second grade. Okay, perfect. Well, I am Carly Kelly, and I am your child's second grade teacher. I know Miss Reagan's class might be joining me. She was unable to host her session tonight, so if you're from her class, welcome. I wanted to go ahead and introduce myself, and this year I'm lucky enough to have a student teacher. Her name is Dara, and so here's a picture of us getting ready for the school year. She is a senior at Kennesaw State University and will graduate this year. So I wanted to share our mission and vision. The Sanders mission is one team, one goal, Sanders success, meaning we work together for all students. And our vision is working together to empower students to become successful lifelong learners. And if you ask your student at home, they've probably heard our mission and vision over and over again because we say it every morning on the announcements. If you are looking for more information or need resources, the Sanders second grade website is a great place to look. The link is located on our Sanders website. So if you go to the Sanders website and click on second grade blog, it'll take you straight to our website where you'll be able to see math links and links to the calendars and different information that's coming up. So that's a great place to look if you need more information about what we're doing in the classroom. So from first grade to second grade, first grade teaches the first grade child to learn how to read, but in second grade, we teach the child how to put their reading into good use. And then during the first 9 weeks, we're going to review many of the first grade standards that were missed due to virtual learning or different, just lack of time last year due to COVID. So we'll be reviewing things and making sure that all those gaps are getting closed. So what does a typical day look like? Here's our schedule. In the morning, your child will go to breakfast if they haven't eaten at home, and we'll watch the morning news, and then we'll have our morning meeting. After morning meeting, we start reading. Then we go to specials. Those are things like PE, music, art, science. And then we have ELF, which is our early literacy framework, which is phonics. So we'll talk a little bit more about what phonics means in a minute. Then we do writing. And then we have lunch from 11:20 to 11:50. Then we go to recess. Then we do math and content. Content is science, social studies, and health. And then we pack up and your kids head back to you. So reading, what will you be doing this year? We're going to be doing a lot of exciting things. Some topics we'll cover are beginning, middle, and end, fairy tales and folk tales, words and phrases that supply rhythm and meaning. So talking about rhyming words in poems and songs, author's purpose, and informational texts. So we'll be reading both fiction and nonfiction this year. In writing is super important skill. As you know, we use it in our everyday lives, and it seems like writing is one of those things that has become throughout, your child, if they're in second grade now, COVID happened when they were at the end of kindergarten. So due to virtual learning and some of the gaps, writing is something that we need to focus on because they've missed out on some of those important skills. So we're going to be doing a lot of writing this year. We focus on 3 main kinds of writing. So we do personal narratives. That's what we're starting with this quarter. And then we'll do opinion writing, where they'll get a chance to tell me about what they think. And then we'll also do informational writing, where they'll write about animals and different topics that are interesting to them. We'll also write letters. So that'll be towards the end of the year. And this year we'll work on revising and editing our writing to make it stronger. So phonics and grammar. Phonics might be a word unfamiliar to you, but it's just learning how to read unknown words by breaking them down into meaningful parts. So some of the phonics things we'll talk about this year are long vowel sounds, R-controlled syllable patterns, different sounds pairs like OU and OI and what sounds they make. And then grammar, we'll be talking about adjectives, adverbs, nouns, verbs, and different shades of meaning. And what that is just how words have different meanings like good, great, excellent, how each of those words mean a similar thing, but as you say each word, you can tell it has a different shade of that meaning. And simple and compound sentences. So we'll be working on lots of things in phonics and grammar this year. Math, we'll learn about place value. That's what we're working on right now. So we're taking 3-digit numbers, like for example, 245, and we're breaking that number down. We're drawing pictures. We are separating it into hundreds, tens, and ones, and we're manipulating that number so that students really understand what it is that number means. We'll be adding and subtracting within 1,000 this year. We're starting within 100, and then we'll move up to 1,000 as the year progresses. We will solve 1- and 2-step word problems, starting with 1 step, and in the second and third quarter, moving into 2-step word problems, where they'll have to do a story problem. For example, there were 50 dogs in the park, 25 dogs went home, but 15 more came. How many dogs are at the park? So they would solve the first part and then take that answer to solve the second. We'll solve word problems using money and length. So if you have coins laying around, it's a good idea to get your child familiar with the penny, nickel, dime, and quarter. And we'll be talking about shapes and their attributes as the year goes on, building on what they already learned in kindergarten and first grade. Science. We'll be talking about properties and changes in matter. That's what we're focused on right now. So you might have heard your child coming home. We've been talking about how a shower has gas and liquids. And we even watched a video of me cooking pasta the other night to talk about how the water changes into different states of matter. Then we'll be talking about stars and planets and the moon and changes and characteristics of our environment. Forces of motion, life cycles. And then in social studies, we'll be talking about history, so historical figures of Georgia history, the Georgia Creek and Cherokee cultures. We'll be talking about economics, such as goods and services, scarcity and opportunity costs, and spending versus saving. And geography, so the different features of Georgia and historical figures. And lastly, we'll be talking about government, so the need for rules and laws, government officials, and positive citizen traits. This year, our students go to one special each day. So each week they'll go to art with Miss Danielson, music with Mr. Chance, PE with Miss Hartley. This year we'll have science lab, oh, her name got taken off, with Miss Jenkins, and technology with Miss Manning. Homework. So my class does not have homework assigned daily. I don't do a weekly homework packet or anything like that. There may be Sundays where we didn't finish something in class, or I just noticed that students need a little bit more practice. So your child may take home 1 or 2 things to work on in their blue folder. It's so important that your child brings home that blue folder every day and that you check it. There's two sides to the folder. One side is keep at home and one side's return to school. So please take out all of the keep at home papers and those stay home with you, and then just send back the return to school things. So this could be things like permission forms, homework, sign-ups for events at school. So if there is any homework, it will be in that blue folder. I have parents asking me, what can I do in the meantime? What if there is no homework and my child needs extra practice? The best thing you can do is to log into Clever and have them get on Headsprout or Dreambox. Those are two really great apps that we have access to. Headsprout is a phonics app where they're going to be breaking those words up and learning more about reading and phonics patterns. And then Dreambox is our math program, and it goes right along with our standards that we're teaching in class. So those are two excellent things that your child can be doing at home if you have access to technology. And lastly is just reading. Your children get to check out library books, and sometimes they leave them here at school, but they're more than welcome to bring them home if you want them to, and they could read a little bit each night. So tests, we'll be taking a mixture this year of paper and pencil and online assessments. As your child gets older and moves into the upper grades, they'll be taking more and more online assessments, so we're kind of preparing them for that right now. We'll be using CTLS, and different assignments and tests will be posted in there. While we will do most of them in class, you still will want to have access to CTLS Parent if you haven't already, because that's how I contact and send information out. So if you still are not logged into CTLS Parent, I highly encourage you to do that, because you will have access to a lot more information that way. Grading guidelines. So your students will be graded on a 3-2-1 scale. And what that means is 3 is meeting standards, 2 is progressing towards meeting those standards, and a 1 means your child not making progress. They've been using the same grading scale since kindergarten, so I think it should be familiar to most of you. The 3+, it's exceeding the standard. So if your child is going way above and beyond what we're expected to have happen in second grade, then your child may get a 3+ on the report card. This is something that's pretty hard to get. So if your child's getting 3s, it doesn't mean they're not doing a great job. A 3+ just means like, wow, your child is very proficient in that one area. And then for learning skills and behaviors, we have the S, P, and N. S stands for satisfactory, P is progressing, and N means they need improvement. And they will be graded on these learning skills and behaviors, not only in my classroom, but in the specials as well, like PE and art and music. So report cards, progress reports will come out every 4.5 weeks, and then the report cards come out every 9 weeks. This is where your child is graded on those things, the 3, 2, and 1 scale and the behavior scale. Report cards are posted in Synergy, so you'll have access to those online. And then if you can't access those or need help, you can contact me and I can get you help logging into your account. Communication. It's so important that we stay in contact through this year, especially with, all the changes that have been happening recently and could probably still happen this year. CTLS Parent is the go-to communication tool for all of us here at Sanders, not just my classroom. So you definitely want to get that account. Like I said earlier, that's where I post all the information. You can message me. You can get posts from the principal and, different people around the building about exciting things coming up. If you need help with that, please let me know, because I would love everybody to be on it so you can get all my messages. We will not be using Class Dojo this year because the county is really pushing for everyone to use this new platform that they built. Attendance. I just wanted to remind everyone of what our bell schedule looks like. Students can arrive anytime between 7:15 and 7:50. The late bell rings at 7:50, so your child will be marked tardy if they are not here before that time. That's also when breakfast closes. So if you're wanting your child to have breakfast at school, they need to be here before 7:50, especially as a car rider. Sometimes buses do run late, so if your child rides a bus and the bus gets here after 7:50, they will not be marked tardy and they can still get breakfast. The student checkout deadline is at 1:45, so at that time, you will no longer be able to check your student out, and dismissal begins at 2:20. And I know you probably, if your child is a bus rider, you may have seen some of the information about how buses have been, the schedule has been a little hard to keep up with. There's just a lack of bus drivers in the county, but they're working on getting that fixed, and hopefully we can smooth that out. Okay, now we all have heard a million times about COVID and the symptoms, but it's so important to use this checklist every morning before your child goes to school. Your child should definitely stay home if they are not feeling well or are showing any of those COVID symptoms. You can see this chart that Cobb County made. If you've been in contact with someone who's tested positive, what you should do. If you're showing symptoms, if you're unwell and have symptoms, if you have a fever. So just please use your best judgment on if it's okay to send your child to school. We have colds going around right now, and it's so hard to keep everyone healthy when some students are coming to school and they don't feel well and then they go home right away. And if we just check on them maybe before we send them on the bus, we can kind of limit what's being passed around the classroom as far as germs. Building character. So each morning from 8 to 8:20, we do morning meeting. This is probably your child's favorite part of the day. I know they are so excited every morning when we do this. We share greetings, we share, talk about different things going on in the classroom, and then they get a chance to share their ideas and feelings. We also talk about some of the STAR traits that we have at Sanders because we are a PBIS school, which is a positive behavior intervention support school. So we really focus on the positives and try to point out the students who are doing the correct thing and really showing the awesome traits that we want them to have at Sanders. So we'll talk about what that means during morning meeting and how we can become the best student and the best person. So the rules that I was talking about, those Sanders Superstar qualities, and it's the acronym STAR. The S stands for safe, the T stands for trustworthy, the A accountable, and the R respectful. And this is how your child gets behavior points throughout the day. So if your child is walking on the green line and, quiet in the hallway, they might get a respectful point added to their PBIS system. And then they can trade those points in at the school store for really cool prizes. So it's a good incentive for students and a great incentive for the ones, who may be struggling a little bit because they really want to earn those things. So they try even harder. So I just want to talk about, as your teacher, what are some things I can do? So I'm going to be supporting and helping your child, clearly teaching concepts that are grade level appropriate. I'd like to maintain open lines of communication with all families and remain flexible. I know that this world is changing every minute, so we got to just remain flexible and understanding of different situations that each family has. And then as the parent, what you can do. So we can support each other. We need to work together and trust that each other has the student's best interest in mind. You as the parent, me as the teacher. Communicate openly. Let me know if there's anything you need help with or would like more information on, and I'll do my best to get that to you. Have patience. I know sometimes it can be hard with the changing schedules or school. We don't really know what it's going to look like each day, but have patience because we're doing our best and working together. And helping with homework if there is any in the blue folder. So that is the end of my presentation. I appreciate everyone for showing up and listening. And now I just want to open it up for any questions that you may have, either about the presentation or just questions you have in general about something that's happened or something you want more information on. So if you want to, you can unmute and ask your question, or you could type your question in the chat box and I'd be happy to answer it. If you leave this meeting today and you're like, oh, I forgot to ask her X, Y, or Z, you can message me on CTLS Parent and I'll be so happy to get back to you. Is it? I think you should be able to see me again.
Hi, my name is Carmen. Now, my daughter's actually in Ms. Reagan's class. Do you guys all use the same curriculum pretty much, the second grade teachers?
Yes, we all use the same as second grade teachers. We all plan together. So we all bring ideas to meetings each week, and then we talk about what would be best for the upcoming week. And we plan with each other. So if I'm teaching, let's say I'm teaching nouns and verbs in my class next week, every class in second grade is teaching nouns and verbs that week because we're all staying on the same pacing guide together.
Okay, okay, good. And will this PowerPoint be available for the parents? If
Yes,
that's
I will be
possible?
posting the link. I recorded this meeting, so I'll be posting the link once it saves to my computer, and then I'll be able to share it with you all. And then if you have any questions or need more information beyond what was shared in the PowerPoint, you can let me know and I can get it for you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Rashida. I'm in. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Hi, sorry, hold on one second. I'm having trouble hearing you. Maybe if I disconnect from the board. One second.
Turn on your camera.
Okay. I think I should be able to hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. My name is Rashida. My daughter is actually in Miss Reagan's class as well. But my question is there any kind of sight words that they need to focus on? Last year, I know I just made her. I mainly focused on her recognizing the word and not necessarily on spelling. I mean, she does pretty good still with spelling, but um, kind of want to help her focus on that or what words would be, great that she should be able to know how to write or read stuff.
Absolutely. So this year, second grade actually doesn't have a set group of sight words because sight words ends in first grade.
Okay.
So I can get you the list from first grade if you'd like it. And then this year, what we do is each week in our phonics units that we're working on has a spelling pattern. So this week we're focusing on words that end with that final silent E. And then next week we might work on long O words. So there is a spelling list each week that follows that pattern. So Miss Reagan
Okay.
will send home that list with you guys when they start a new pattern, and then you guys will have access to that, and you could be working with those words at home.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Well, like I said, that's all that I have for today. So I am available by CTLS parent or email if you have any more questions that you think of later. And I will save this PowerPoint presentation, the recording, so that I can share it with everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I hope you guys all have a great evening.
You too.
Thanks, you
Thank you.
too. Bye.
Hi, Aria. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.